The makeshift time-lapse setup has been going now for about 45 minutes, and the lights have really turned on over Tokyo. There's still like a pretty solid cloud in the air, but that could add that moody bit of drama that could make this time-lapse really, really cool. So we've been up here for quite a while, just sort of standing around, hanging out, trying to avoid the security from taking down my makeshift setup. To Shinjuku, Tokyo. This is an area of the city that neither of us have been to before.
Nope. It's meant to be really, really cool, like lots of restaurants and shops, and also a very popular building that we want to go up to today.
Yeah, the whole idea with this video is to go up to the top of the Tokyo Municipal Government Building, try and find a time lapse, to try and film a time lapse of sort of twilight to dark. And I want to do that specifically with the EOSR and the auto exposure setting that it's got built into it.
Have you done that before?
I have not. So this is the whole idea behind the video, sort of testing myself to see if we can come out with a really, really nice time lapse here in Tokyo. It's also our last night.
It is, yeah.
Sadly.
Say goodbye soon.
So we're gonna have to have some sushi.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
The rain has stopped, and this is where Tokyo is really starting to feel more like a city. We are sort of in the heart of the Shinjuku, and we've been walking for like just over a kilometer, and really we are surrounded by like trains and subway and these giant crosswalks, tons and tons of people. It's much louder than the rest of Japan and really does feel more like a city. I've never been to New York myself, but I have been to like Mexico City and Sao Paulo, and this really feels like a big international city, which is kind of cool because for as much as I travel, I actually don't spend that much time in big cities. We're almost at the Tokyo Municipal Government Building, and it looks like it is in a cloud. It is so humid and cloudy and overcast today that the building itself is in a cloud, which may not work to our advantage, or it might. It really all depends. It could be really, really cool, but let's get up there and have a look. We are on top of the 45th floor here in the Municipal Government Building, and I've set up sort of a miniature version of the Holy Grail time-lapse. So how you do that with the Canon EOS R is you go into the movie settings, and instead of keeping it in movie manual, which I normally do, I switch it to AV, which is aperture priority, and I want my ISO settings at auto. And then I want to set this at 5.6 because I know it's going to get pretty dark, and the auto ISO, I don't want it to boost much higher than like 6400, even though with the EOS R it's pretty good in low light. I still want to at least get a bit of that detail, and 5.6 as an f-stop is still going to get a nice overview of everything in focus because it is a big landscape. So what I've got is I'm setting it to 1500 images, which is way longer than I need. That's like 2 hours of footage at 6-second intervals. Again, way more than I need, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to get at least like an hour. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm not allowed to have a tripod. Oh, that kills everything. So we're gonna have to reset up everything to see if I can get away with this Holy Grail time lapse without the tripod. This is improvisation. No tripods allowed. So you got the camera bag and Nellie's sweater, and I think this will actually do the trick. Alright, she's set up, but I'm not gonna lie, that was a bit stressful. I had the tripod all in the perfect position and I was ready to go, and I was doing the vlog, and then the security came over and they politely said no tripods, which I kind of expected, half expected, you know. So if you're watching this, you want to come up here, don't bring your tripod, there's no point. You could probably get away with a GorillaPod, but what I've done, you can see just behind Nellie, is I've set up my camera bag, and then I've got the camera kind of resting on top of the camera bag, and then I've put Nellie's jacket over top of that to kind of try and get rid of the reflections on the glass. Now, I have seen a tutorial from Matthew Van de Poot, who's a Belgian time-lapse photographer, lives in Australia, used to. Now I think he lives in London, and he had like a whole setup where you could put a case over the camera to stop all the reflections, and this is kind of my hack with the jacket. Fingers crossed it works, but really this is like, I'm not sure, you know, it's one of those things where it's like trial and error, and this is definitely a trial. So fingers crossed I'm gonna get a nice sort of Holy Grail time-lapse through these clouds, but it's gonna be close. Let's see, let's see. Makeshift time-lapse setup has been going now for about 45 minutes, and the lights have really turned on over Tokyo. There's still like a pretty solid cloud in the air, but that could add that moody bit of drama that could make this time-lapse really, really cool. So we've been up here for quite a while, just sort of standing around, hanging out, trying to avoid the security from taking down my makeshift setup, but so far it's still there, still going strong. So yeah, fingers crossed that we get a good outcome on this amazing scene. And night has fallen across Tokyo. We have been here for like probably an hour and 15 minutes, more or less. The time-lapse ended up being just over an hour, and I think that it turned out pretty good. So I'm happy with that as a first attempt.
It must have.
Yeah, we watched it
with
back.
all that waiting.
Yeah, true. We just sat around. Once it was all set up, we just sat around kind of trying to make sure the security guards didn't take it all apart.
Got really close. They took mine away. So.
Yeah, they did. The mini tripod. They were like, no, you can't even have a mini tripod. So if you're watching this and you want to come up to the 45th floor of the Municipal Government Building in Tokyo, don't bring a tripod. And I think I was lucky to get away with that time-lapse, actually. So yeah, but it turned out good. That's sort of your Holy Grail. It's the first time I've ever done that, to believe it or not. So didn't really have to use LR time-lapse. I think it's going to turn out pretty good just out of camera. Might do a little grade on it and make it look a bit better, but I think it turned out okay. So yeah.
So did our time here in Japan, I think.
Yes, it is time for us to leave Japan. Sadly, this is the final evening. We're going to go have some sushi, and then Nellie's off to South Korea.
Yep. on Sunday. Yeah, I'm
so
going to South
lots
Korea.
to look forward to on her channel. And if you're still subscribed here, you're coming with me to Nepal. I'm going on a photography expedition to Nepal.
Well, you're also
which is gonna
lucky
be great.
because you can follow both journeys if you want.
True, yes. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. So as always, thank you for watching. I hope you like it, and we'll see you
On the next one.
bye.